General Hospital viewers watched Laura Collins grow up from a preteen who ended up with the wrong mother, to a teen whose wedding ended up the most watched episode of daytime drama ever. We watched her become a mom, we waited out a couple of her mental breakdowns, and now we're proud to have her as our mayor. But what drives Laura to ignore her civic responsibilities for a jaunt to Greenland to, save the world? What's with the hero compulsion? We put her honor on the couch for a peek inside that noodle. We thought we knew all of Laura's, Jenny Francis, youthful sins because we watched her murder David Hamilton, her dad's old college buddy who hated Rick, Chris Robinson, so much that he tried to seduce his wife, and when that didn't work, went after his young daughter. Leslie Denise Alexander ended up taking the blame for Laura's crime. Almost 30 years later, we learned that a few months after that, Laura also killed Rick's mistress. It's amazing she had time to graduate high school. Laura also spent decades telling herself she hadn't been raped by the man she eventually married. It wasn't until Lucky Jonathan Jackson was dealing with Elizabeth's Rebecca Herbst sexual assault that Laura had to admit the truth, not just to her son, but to herself. We are not saying that Laura is to blame for what happened, but we can't believe those thoughts didn't cross her mind. If not responsible for the rape, at least responsible for whitewashing it for so long. Is it any wonder that with a past so filled with missteps, Laura would be determined to only do good and be good moving forward? She saved Port Charles from the mob. She saved Port Charles from the Cassadines. She saved Port Charles from the mob, again. And now it's time for a second go-around with the family that made her life miserable for so long. It's the least Laura can do, or so she thinks. General Hospital spoilers reveal global danger controlled by a madman, a dying woman getting yet another last chance, people debating which crimes should be brought to justice, and so much more. You won't want to miss a minute of this emotional new episode. Laura, Jenny Francis, is Port Charles' forever heroine, and she proved it when she swiped that pathogen right out of its caboodle-like container and slipped it into her pocket. Victor, Charles Shaughnessy, knows she has it and warns his adversary that one false move and humanity could go up in smoke. Victor doesn't think about the fact that Laura has been down this road before and is pretty fearless. She's not going to let a crazy Cassadine stand in her way when she has some grandsons to rescue. On the Haunted Star, Spencer Nicholas Alexander Chavez wants to help Curtis, Donald Turner, do some rescuing himself. Laura wants to make sure Spencer and Ace are safe, but Spencer wants to make sure Laura is safe. Before Curtis allows him to join the mission, he wants to make sure he can trust the young man. Finally, alone in a room somewhere in that bunker is Valentine, James Patrick Stewart, still talking to hallucination Helena and telling her that he is not going anywhere with her. At least Robert, Tristan Rogers, and Felicia, Christina Wagner, are back in Port Charles doing their best to make sure the WSB doesn't blow up the island. After learning that Michael, Chad Duell, has spent almost a year trying to destroy his father via Dex, Evan Hofer, and keeping the secret from her, Willow, Caitlin McMullen, promptly passed out on her wedding night to remind us all that this healthy-looking bride has cancer and is set to die any day now. Willow could barely believe that her sweet and supportive new husband would do such a thing, but now her life is truly on the line, and she doesn't have much time left. TJ, Taj Bello, tells Michael her condition is grave, but there could be a solution. Michael approaches Willow with the solution, and she has a choice to make. Could Wiley possibly be a match? If TJ does want to have him tested, will Willow even allow it? Perhaps she should, considering she is on potential donor number 5 now. Nana, Cynthia Watrous, is as much of a wreck as Michael. Between Willow's health woes and her own mistake of turning in Carly, Laura Wright, to the SEC, she is scared her whole world might come crashing down around her once again. To that end, she does her best to distract Sonny, Morris Bernard, so he won't catch on to what she did. She knows if he ever learned that she is the one who had that call made about Carly, he might never forgive her. Sonny even makes a point of telling Nina that whoever hurt Carly also hurt him. Of course, Sonny could also have bigger fish to fry when he learns just what Michael has been up to. Speaking of the possibility of Sonny learning that little tidbit of truth, Joss, Eden McCoy, and Dex are still in bed talking about Sonny as they are apt to do. Now they are wondering if turning him in is really the right thing to do. General Hospital spoilers reveal daring adventures, nervous sons, Quartermain antics, and so much more. You won't want to miss a moment of this action-packed new episode. Spencer, Nicholas Alexander Chavez, did everything he could to distract the guards so Curtis, Donald Turner, could make it to Trina's, Tabiana Alley, room and break her free. But all that did was get him beaten to a pulp. While Curtis brawls with Victor's goons and seems to be on the winning side, Trina runs to her boyfriend and begs him to wake up. Unfortunately, Spencer is in pretty bad shape and is out cold. A worried Trina doesn't know what to do and blames herself for what happened to Spencer. Elsewhere on the island, Laura, Jenny Francis, remains one determined grandma. While Carly, Laura Wright, and Nina, Cynthia Watros, fight it out over their grandchildren with relatively petty grievances in Port Charles, warrior Laura gets into the thick of things in Greenland in her quest to rescue her grandsons from madman Victor, Charles Shaughnessy. Will Drew, Cameron Matheson, manage to do anything to help her and make her life easier, or does Laura have to go about this all on her own? She has been battling the Cassadines for decades and is not about to stop now. Michael, Chad Duell, has a lot on his mind for being a newlywed. He has a mother under federal investigation by the SEC for an actual crime he participated in, and now he knows what is really going on with the father he is trying to bring down. Sonny, Morris Bernard, somehow got himself involved with an explosive trafficking mess. However, none of that compares to Willow, Catelyn McMullen, who promptly lost consciousness right after he told her the truth about what he has been up to with Dex, Evan Hofer. This leaves Michael in a frantic state as he wonders what he has done. Could this be the end for Willow before the rescue crew managed to bring Liesl, Kathleen Gaddy, back home? Nina, Cynthia Watros, did her best to call off Martin, but the SEC had already gotten their tip and hauled Carly, Laura Wright, in for questioning. Nina knows she can't keep what she did a secret for long and worries that Ava, Maura West, was right. What if she loses both Sonny and Willow? And what if the SEC makes it to Greenland to nab Drew before he can rescue Liesl? While that seems unlikely and far-fetched, that is still a fear. To that end, Nina confides in Ava, who probably wants to tell her friend, "I told you so." Will she be kind enough not to rub it in and be the listening ear Nina needs? GH spoilers are leading viewers to think that Molly Lansing Davis will find out that her endometriosis has rendered her sterile, and considering the fact that both she and TJ are at the point in their relationship where they want to have a child, that could present a problem Molly wasn't expecting. If that speculation comes true, how will Alexis's, Nancy Lee Gran, youngest daughter, react to the devastating setback? Over 4,000 fans have some advice to share with the Legal Eagle and a prediction to make about what will come next. Those soaps sometimes give the impression that a woman without children is bound to grow crazy sooner, rather than later. Only a little over 1% of the audience speculates that Molly Heli Pulos may lose her mind and kidnap either Amelia or Ace. Well, maybe Amelia for now. Ace is busy being kidnapped by somebody else. Molly never really talked much about her desire to become a mother, which is why 11% of you predict that she'll have no trouble going through life childless. It's a legitimate choice many adults make. Molly has a career she loves, a partner she loves just as much, and several nieces and nephews. She can have a full and rich life without biological children. If Molly and TJ, Taj Bello, really want to have children together, they can always adopt, 33% suggest. Biology isn't everything. Look at how obsessed Willow, Catelyn McMullen, is with her adopted son Wiley. The same goes for Sonny, Morris Bernard, and his adopted son, Michael, Chad Duell. Monica, Leslie Charleson, still misses Jason, Steve Burton, the son she adopted and lost several times. The point is there are many happy non-biological families in Port Charles. Molly and TJ can join them if they want. Christina, Lexi Ainsworth, isn't doing much with her uterus at the moment, 55% point out, speculating this may be the best move. She's not doing much with her life either, as her mom Alexis periodically points out, which is why Molly should ask her sister to carry her baby for her. Kill two birds with one stone, and get a baby at the end of it.